Welcome, everyone, to the Telarus Tuesday call for June 23rd, 2020. I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus, ruminating and cogitating, contemplating and meditating on all things Telarus, and bringing them to you right here in one fast-moving, informative call, and once again without the benefit of a formal theme song. Thank you for joining today's event. Last Tuesday, we welcomed Nick Madsen from BroadVoice, the all-in-one platform for great conversations. BroadVoice offers cloud PBX, voice, collaboration, and SMS for teams that love to talk. Existing phone systems can be enhanced with SIP trunking to leverage clients' existing PBX investment while easing into those cloud services. And Contact Center. BroadVoice offers contact center solutions for every size business with recording, metrics, and analytics. We learned about BroadVoice's redesigned architecture, new features, and exciting integrations. Also, last Tuesday, we introduced our newest Telarus supplier, Megaport, Cloud Interconnectivity Simplified. Now, your clients can organize all of their connections from one place and bring their network together in an easy-to-use network-as-a-service platform. Build hybrid, multi-cloud, cloud-to-cloud, and DR solutions. And with Megaport, clients build those connections faster. They move data further, and they can be more agile. The official launch and training call for Megaport was held last Wednesday. That recording, along with last week's Telarus Tuesday call, are both available for your review in the Telarus Partner Back Office. Today, we're featuring an exciting and thought-provoking discussion with Convergia. They are a Pan-American telecom and IoT carrier. Pan-American, of course, meaning that Convergia covers countries in both North and South America, among others. Convergia is actually a local CLEC in the US, Canada, Mexico, and South America, but Convergia also offers an impressively wide range of IoT products. And today we'll learn how Convergia's CxC Smart Asset tracking platform can be used for your clients' practical applications. And when coupled with CxC SIM service, your clients will have 24/7 connectivity anytime, anywhere. Find out more about the Convergia value propositions during our discussion with Convergia on today's Telarus Tuesday call. That and much more coming up. As always, we invite you to log into our video link and live chat platform to see all of today's valuable information and to submit your questions and comments for today's presenters. We have recently been telling you about our Telarus Race to the Summit event presented by Granite and Vonage. Now, the Race to the Summit is a game similar to the TV show The Amazing Race, with lots of opportunities, tasks, and events. The grand prize winner in this competition will choose either a 3-year lease on a Tesla or $25,000. Now, to begin playing, be sure you've downloaded the app and completed your entry profile, and then you can begin winning almost immediately. Just complete 3 badges, one of which you'll get simply for your profile, and you'll receive a Telarus tumbler and first aid kit, making you the envy of your friends. The Race to the Summit Season 1 runs now through August 12th, and the grand prize winner will be announced during the Telarus Partner Summit. Then we're going to run a second season and announce another grand prize winner on December 2nd. The current Season 1 leaders are Mark Radford in 5th place, Jamie Turner in 4th, Michelle Hines in 3rd, Joseph Longway in 2nd, and once again, Mark Pradell in 1st. You can also join our Telarus Race to the Summit LinkedIn group to ask questions, offer suggestions, and obtain the latest details. If you haven't already received an email or still need to register yourself or someone in your organization, just give us a call or email marketing@telarus.com to let us know, and then join us for the Race to the Summit. Well, here's this week's personal care segment, how to get a beach body in 2 easy steps. Step 1, go to the beach. Step 2, you're done. Well, may we suggest going to the beach with Telarus, to St. Lucia specifically, the site of our very special President's Club trip coming up in March. Our Telarus suppliers will make it easy for you to qualify for this award and trip. You can either sell a combined 100K in Telarus MRR or sell a specified amount with one of the individual sponsoring suppliers shown on your screen. Steph, I think we need to go back one slide if you can. As you can see from the list, there are many terrific and easy ways to qualify, and a few of our partners have already qualified, both ways, including with AT&T, Fuse, and Splice. And Splice is giving away multiple trips, so you can still qualify by selling Splice solutions to your clients. Every sale counts toward qualifying for this amazing trip. Don't miss the opportunity to join Telarus next March in St. Lucia for the 2020 President's Club. And have no fear, if anyone needs to reach you, yep, they can call you on your shell. I know. There is some excellent training available from our Telarus suppliers this week. Here are 4 such opportunities that caught our eye. First up, today at 2 p.m. Eastern, an extremely important hour with Everbridge on carefully coordinating the return of employees to the workspace. Now, it's more than just establishing contact tracing, which is important, but just one part of the process. It's necessary to ensure pre-pandemic levels of safety and operations, and there's a process for understanding employee needs and performing necessary risk assessment in the development of your client's program. Help them do so successfully. As millions of at-home workers prepare for some version of return to work, mark this special Everbridge training about mitigating security risks. It's a must attend. Mark it on your calendar. It happens today at 2 p.m. Eastern from Everbridge. Then tomorrow, Wednesday, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, something very different to help set you apart. RSI will teach you how to begin the conversation and break into the 5 most active markets for recurring commercial drone flight services and solutions. Drones offer new possibilities for smart data collection, and clients can save significant time and expense by leveraging this exciting technology. RSI offers the most advanced industry-trained pilots and a cloud-based platform for actionable insights. Interested? Well, you should be. To register, you must email trish.kapos, K-A-P-O-S, at rsitex.com. That's trish.kapos at rsitex.com. And then join Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern for the RSI training. Then take Wednesday off from training. Just take the day off. Go on a hike, go on a bike ride, maybe an amusement park if one is there. We've got one here. Or throw all caution to the wind and walk across the wet sand. Oh no, there's no training on Wednesday, but on Thursday, make plans to join Intrado beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern and learn the essentials to building a secure and connected remote workforce. In the current climate, the sheer quantity of employees working remotely can place significant strains on the network. Intrado can help protect existing investments and respond to the evolving landscape. You'll learn about the latest technologies to make the most of interim solutions. You'll explore secure VPN solutions and their importance. And you'll find out how to adapt between network types as usage trends change. It's Intrado Remote Workforce Solutions Training, and it happens Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then right afterward, Thursday at noon Eastern, find out in just 30 minutes why you need to know about Telia Carrier, the #1 global internet backbone. Telia Carrier connects end users to content and enterprises to the cloud. Their IP customer routes account for more than half of the internet routing table. Telia Carrier has recently launched its conflict-free channel program, providing a high-performing alternative to the traditional telecom providers. In other words, you can offer your enterprise customers what's made Telia Carrier a top wholesale provider. 30 minutes that can change your business. Tell you a carrier introduction. It happens Thursday at noon Eastern. The details and registration links for these and for many other live and recorded learning opportunities are all in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. And as always, so many valuable spiffs available to Telarus partners. Each week we pass along some of the best. Here are three to which we'd like you to pay particular attention. First up, here's an offer from Veracity. They've partnered with Cisco to raise your bottom line when you sell the WebEx suite. This is the first time the Telarus channel is able to offer the full Cisco WebEx suite, and you'll earn a 50% MRC upfront on any WebEx suite product and qualify for 21% Telarus residual commissions on that product as well. The offer includes Cisco WebEx Contact Center, cloud calling, and meetings. So do it. Raise your bottom line with Cisco and Veracity now through June 30th. And then next from Telarus partner Quadranet, a special thank you gift for Telarus partners, $100. Simply bring Quadranet an assessment which becomes a valid infrastructure as a service opportunity, and the C-note is yours. And it's available until August 5th. Quadranet offers high-quality dedicated servers, co-location and cloud services, along with unparalleled technical support and service levels. Bring your next assessment opportunity to Quadranet and earn this special $100. Thank you, Spiff. And finally, GoToConnect by LogMeIn and powered by Jive hopes you'll sell more faster with a 5x bonus. Just register a new opportunity in their partner exchange tool, work the deal with your LogMeIn AE, close it on a 36-month term, and then claim your 5x bonus while you sit back and listen to the sound of the new contract ink drying. This terrific Go-To by LogMeIn Spiff runs throughout 2020. Plenty of time to get your share of this fantastic 5x bonus. These and many more fantastic deals from our suppliers can all be found at promos.telarus.com. Well, today I am very happy to welcome Convergia to the Tuesday call. Convergia is a Pan-American telecom and IoT carrier offering an impressively wide range of IoT products. Today we learn how Convergia's CxC Smart Asset tracking platform can be used for your clients' practical applications. And when coupled with the CxC SIM service, your clients will have 24/7 connectivity anytime and anywhere. Eric Leduc is the Director of IoT for North America at Convergia. He holds a master's degree in cloud computing and engineering and is finishing a PhD in IoT. We're thrilled to have him with us today. Eric, welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call. How are you?
I'm good, Doug. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Really honored to have you here today.
Thank you for your time on this. I really appreciate it. Today, we're going to discuss the CxC Smart Asset tracking. This solution has been built by Convergia from the hardware to the network to finish on the application on the cloud. So let me start a bit about this solution. So on the past webinar, we already explained what Convergia built. I call it the foundation. So we are an MVNA, a mobile virtual network aggregator, and we bring together carriers, so MNOs and MVNO under the same platform. Robustness and scalability related with IoT solution. So this is an example of what we can build with the CxC Smart Asset Tracker under the foundation of the CxC SIM card. So multiple carriers, super robustness, different type of path. So let's start with the presentation. So I'll introduce myself. I am an architect in telecommunication and IoT for more than 15 years, working with different carriers and manufacturers. So I work with all the team here in Convergia to build this foundation of, and over it, some super nice IoT solution. We can manage and work on different type of vertical. So this type of solution is just not what for one vertical, but it's you can play with a lot of different type of customer and different type of field. I will explain it in a use case in the end of this presentation. We can go on the next one, please. So we are Convergia. What is Convergia exactly? It's been built more than 20 years ago, and the headquarters in Montreal, Canada. We are a Pan-American company, so we are in Argentina in more than 150 point of presence. We are not just in US and Canada and Mexico, but even now in EU with Spain and other type of country. Right now, we're just expanding all over the world. So what we bring normally in the offer of IoT, so we bring the SIM card, as I say, solution, like we're going to discuss today in the asset tracking, smart asset tracking solution. We have solution for fleet management. We have solution, more elaborate solution with different type of sensors. So we're talking about smart building, smart lighting solution, and different type of IoT solutions. But today, let's keep our focus on the CxC Smart Asset Tracking. On the next slide, please. So what is this solution? So in the beginning, we need to understand that type of solution. What is the big figure of it? So what we bring, it's a carrier class solution. So what does that mean? It's been certified, it's PTC or B certified. It's IP ruggedized certified. What we're using in the inside the module, that's more for the techie, but it's using a CAD-M module. What's that mean? It's this type of solution they use a lot of energy. So with the same battery on the device can communicate with the platform for 8 to 10 years, and you don't even have to change the battery. So it's really a slap and go solution. You just put the device where you want to use your tracking solution and forget about it for 8 years. You don't need to manage the energy, change the battery, to play with it. This is what that type of solution is. It's just to keep it simple. You don't need to have an installation, complex, take appointment. It's really, you put it wherever you want to put, and it's gonna be, you can put it outside. Since it's an IP67 device, it resists water and dust. We're talking about full wireless coverage. Since, as I said in the beginning, we build a foundation with our CxC SIM card to have access to multiple carriers in multiple countries. So this solution, we use it for Canada, US, Mexico, and name it. And our platform is based on the cloud, so we can scale rapidly to a massive number of devices. So limitation, it's just where you want to go. So the system don't have any limitation. You can have thousands of devices and without complex implementation. You just have to tell the number and we increase the cloud related with. And since Convergia, it's part of this huge community, we have 24/7 support. And this is people for people. What does that mean exactly, people for people? So we have people who speak French, English, and Spanish from Canada, USA, Mexico, Argentina, and we have local people to answer you. We're not talking about the bot automation system. We have a human who's going to be answering you and taking care of your question, inquiries, or issue. If we can go on the next one, please. So as I say, we have many flavor of that solution, but our most attractive package, it's the LP1 solution with the CAD-M module or NB-IoT module. This is an IP67. What's that mean? It's been tested to go underwater for 1 meters. So we can rain on it, we can snow on it, we can put it in a sand, and the box is sealed. It's gonna work. It's working in Canada. So we're talking about it's cold as minus 30 Fahrenheit someplace, and it's still working. We have the 8 years battery life, global SIM card, gonna work everywhere. So we don't have any issue related. It's gonna work with AT&T, Verizon, TMO, AT&T Mexico. We don't care. We just need to have the tower located, a cell tower, and it's gonna connect to it. We have the option on this is an application features on their platform. We don't just have the GPS location, because some of you will maybe know GPS is not friendly all the time. If you don't have a clear line of the sky, sometimes you cannot have a GPS pinpoint. But we're using triangulation with the cell tower, so we can know where's your device, even if you are underground, since we can ping and reach the cell tower location on the cloud. This is the add value we're bringing with our software engineering team. And since our device have sensors already built it on it, it's not an add-on, it's not another feature, more cost, it's included. We have different type of sensors. So we have the GPS location sensor, the temperature, humidity, lumens, measure the light, the accelerometer, and the pressure. So with all this information we have on the same device, we can have a multiple type of use case, not pure GPS, but more information related with that. If we can go to the next one, please. So as I say, this is the type of feature we have. So lumen sensors, what does that mean? It can measure the light. G-force, that means we can measure acceleration, deceleration, and even speed. Geofencing, what's the geofencing? So we can create rules over a map to say, I want to receive an alarm when that device gonna quit or leave that area, or is gonna go inside that area. A pure example of this. You have a delivery, and you want to know when your delivery location arrived at customer. You know exactly when your package going to be at the customer with the geofencing rules. Temperature sensor. You want to monitor food or pharmaceutical solution, and temperature is really important for the threshold. So you can have that type of information. Humidity, same principle about some bulk material. So you want to humidity sensible, you have that. Impact sensors based on the G-force. So you want to know if you're driving something or you carrying a box, someone dropped a box and broke your equipment. You know exactly where and when with the GPS location, so you know where is it. So this is the type of more intelligent solution we build on our application. Can we go to the next one, please? So this is an example of our platform. We call it, it's part of our division, the CxC IoT App Factory. So this is a platform we build. This is pure information from one of our sensors. So we have the temperature, the battery voltage, the humidity. We have a dashboard to know exactly what is the fluctuation of the data. So we can pinpoint exactly what's going on, what's happening. Let's say, take an example, this temperature sensors, managing strawberry. What's happening? Why we have a peak here? We can send an alarm to the driver to say what's going on. The reefer is broken. Would we have an issue? Same thing with the humidity. So we have a strange pattern. We see a grow. So maybe it's going to somewhere it's not supposed to be. Do we have a type of pattern? So some of our customers request not just to have the alarm, but have the complete follow-up from point A to point B. What is the temperature of my equipment? Where is the location of my equipment? When they move my equipment in the night, in the day, and all this information is included on the CxC IoT app factory platform for a CxC Smart Asset Tracker. Can we go to the next one, please? So we saw some information. Now we're talking about locks, pressure, and impact. So as you can see, the pressure change from 100 drop situation depend of what's happening, because we can send more data per day based on event. So when we're using more data per day, we change the load a little bit. So the battery just been drained just a little bit, but we have to know. And said, we sending more information just to be sure we don't losing the communication with the battery. We're creating threshold to send alarms to know exactly what's going on. And the next one, please. GPS location. We want to know the history of it. So what did you do with your package this week? So we can know exactly where, when, what's the direction, what's the destination, what's the path you want to use. And we can have all this information, just not in a CLI interface, a map, not just the GPS location with the address. Easier to see, easier to understand. Yes, my device went at that place, and in going back at that place at that time for any type of reason. And this could be mapped on different type of way. It could be based on a street map, or directly on a GPS location in the narrow point. So, depending on when we want to have that communication for the GPS location point, or based on impact. That's the way we can custom that type of solution. On the next one, please. Typical market. Right now, for 2017 to 2022, dollars in 2017 and 23 in 2022. So what is telematic? Asset tracking, temperature monitoring. So asset tracking, we're talking about normally GPS. Temperature monitoring, to monitor information about the food, the pharmaceutical. Anything is sensible. Humidity, movement. You want to know if you have movement. Is someone tried to steal your equipment, or your employees moving when it's not supposed to be, just Monday to Friday, not in the weekend. Manage the lumens. Use case for lumens. We have some customers using that device in a trailer. They know exactly when someone opened the door. So they know at 2 a.m., no one's supposed to open the door. So you have an alarms related with that. So creating alarms on impact, creating alarms on light, creating alarms on movement, monitoring food, tracking trailer, tools, art. All that type of stuff is a typical market for the asset tracker. And we go to the next one, please. So this is going to be a use case. I see right now a lot of customers looking to have that type of use case. So this is one per many, but I think it's a different one. That's why I want to share it with you, just to bring new idea to when you have conversation with your customer, to be sure we're talking about smart asset tracking. It's true. We're talking about normally smart asset tracking. What does that mean? Come in mind, it's GPS location. I want to know where is it based on different factor. But this use case will be a bit different. So if we can go to the next one, please. So right now, the main use case of this tracking is, let's say you're transporting or storing food, and you have that CxC Asset tracker inside near you storage. Where is your storage? And the point of it, it's you want to know what's the average temperature of your food. You can transport it, you can put it in a freezer, you can put it in storage, but let's say the reefer or the freezer have any type of issue, you don't need to spoil any food. You're gonna know it just by the pattern of the threshold. You're gonna know it when someone opened the door by the temperature variation and all the information related with that. We're seeing right now in the market, some of the customer require to see the food temperature to be sure they don't buy some food at a price should not be the same. Because if temperature is changing, the life expectancy of the food can change. And that don't have exactly the same value. With that type of information, you can say to the customer, my transport from California to New York, and we keep the same level at 3% of the temperature humidity on the delivery. Same thing in the warehouse. So we can assure we don't have any problem. Or let's say the driver have an issue, the temperature change, receive an alarm, please check your reefer, go to the mechanic, something happened, the temperature is supposed to be colder than that. And this is, they don't, in that case, they don't even using the GPS. They're only using the information from the temperature, humidity. They still have access to the GPS, but it's not the use case. They want to manage temperature, humidity for the telematics. On the next one, please. So the idea of it, it's on the same platform. You have all the information and you get all the notification directly from the platform via an email, or if you want to have the platform directly on your tablet, on your phone, on your laptop, as soon as something happens, a threshold's been bust, you're going to receive an alarms. So you don't need to look at the platform all the time. The platform's doing the work for you. It's an automation, and you don't need to do anything related with that. So let's say you want to have a complex pattern of alarms. The platform has been built to create configurable sensors alerting. So it could be based on location, on temperature, on humidity, on movement, and just receiving alarms if all of them are together, or just two of them, or just one, or based on, I want to be advised if my food is in low temperature, only if the truck is moving. Because it's normal, when the truck is not moving, it's normal, the temperature is a bit higher because the reefer is not working. We can do that type of configuration, but to be honest, you can do it. That's why we're creating that easy platform to configure the sensors alerting. But be sure, Convergia is here to help you. If you want us to do it, it's not a problem at all. We're going to be glad to do it for you to make that solution so easy to do. Can we go to the next one, please? So monitoring the temperature and humidity pattern. So the main point of it, it could be to optimize the route, to reduce the time to make the delivery by charting the temperature fluctuation. Think about it, you moving, not food now, but pharmaceutical device, and temperature, you're near a point, it's 100 degrees, and your reefer is not good enough, you have issue. You can optimize your route, try to drive at night to be sure we can deliver everything without spoiling anything. So you can make predictive analysis based on the humidity, the information you have, the temperatures coming, and everything on a detailed report. So you can push it with more intelligence for your business, just to be sure the revenue is still going to be there, and you have no customer complaint and to dispute a billing related on some false information, because with this, you have all the real data in real time. On the next one, please. So this was the quick overview of the CxC Smart Asset Tracking. As I say, this is a solution built on our CxC SIM card for global coverage. And this solution, the installation is so simple. You just need to put 2 screws, you can just stick it to where you want to put it, and it's been built to go outside. So it's gonna work inside. What you want to put outside, it's been built to do it. So I'm glad you take the time to listen to me. And now if you have any question, I will be glad to answer them.
Eric, thank you so much. Great presentation. We're speaking today with Eric Leduc of Convergia about the CxC Smart Asset Tracker and their SIM solutions. I think we got a world record set today for questions coming in on the chat line in our Q&A window, Eric. This has obviously touched a nerve with some of our partners, so we're going to get into some of this, but terrific presentation. Obviously, there is a huge need and an application for this in the current market, and I think it's been made perhaps even more so. I'm going to start with this question that came through, just asking, have you seen any kind of a change in the market, either uptick, downtick, or whatever it may be, due to COVID? And are you seeing additional applications open up because of people's concerns about the pandemic situation?
This is a really good question. Right now, everything, we see a lot of movement with the COVID. People want to know more, have more information, and less people to touch it. So they just want information without risking people to measure themselves. So I'm talking about temperature and all that type of information. So yes, right now we see a lot more information about telematic remote control under the COVID. It's sad to say, but I think it's best for the business to use that type of tool.
Talk a little bit, if you would, about the types of devices that are used. We're getting several questions asking about size, shape, how you work with these. My guess is that we're not talking about one type of device here, but all sorts of different transmitting devices that can be used. Is that right?
That's right, but the size is the same. It's something like 3 inches by 1 by 1. It's relatively a small devices, and we have 2 flavors, one with a solar panel on it. I didn't talk about it yet. And the other one is the vanilla one, just with the battery. And still with the battery is going to be 8 years of life expectancy.
So 8 years or more on the life expectancy of the battery. Let's talk about that solar panel for just a second. How long can the unit power itself after how much exposure to sunlight? And I'm guessing that might be considered for less sensitive applications if sunlight isn't available at times?
Yep, exactly. So normally we did some testing to recharge the battery from 0 to 100%. We're talking about 40 hours of direct sunlight. So with that solar panel, the life expectancy could be pretty long. We didn't find, we believe it's going to be 15 years old. But to be honest, we didn't have any time to test the 15 years old since the
Sure.
kind of new.
So back to the size situation. So maybe about 3 inches by 1 inch by 1 inch or so. What's the approximate weight of a sensor?
It's a good question. I believe it's something like near 100 grams.
Okay, so fairly lightweight then. I suppose it would have to be for all of the different types of applications. Now, Convergia, of course, international presence. Number of questions coming in about where these services can be used. You mentioned you've got worldwide wireless coverage, global SIM, but are there places in the world where this should not be used, or places where you're seeing a surge perhaps in usage of this product?
No, we don't see any restriction related with that. To be honest, we have some customer in Australia, EMEA, France, UK, Africa, Mexico, US, Canada, China now. So no, I don't see it. Maybe just to keep only the country do you have cell tower, and that's the main reason of it.
So specifically, we're getting questions about Asian. You mentioned China, European. You mentioned that. South America, same thing.
Yeah, South America, we have Argentina's working, and we have a solution right now. It's working on 2G. So it's not all South America have Cat M1 solution, but they have the 2G. The 2G have a less life expectancy for the battery, but they still have the same solution.
In addition to the battery life, you mentioned the durability of these units. They're waterproof, they're dustproof. These things seem tremendously resilient. What are some of the more unusual but effective ways you've seen the devices placed and used?
The typical use will be, we have a lot of customers using outside to monitor a trailer. As I said before, we have the food. The people want to monitor the food. We want to monitor expensive equipment, expensive tool to be sure no one's moving them around. And to be honest, we have so many different type of use case that type of solution is working, I believe, in 90% of all the vertical in IoT. So bring us any type of business case, I believe it's a right fit.
That's great. Ross Morley is asking a number of questions, and they're good ones here. One question that came up is, will the device transmit effectively from within a metal shipping container, or does that knock out the signal? That could be the shipping container of a unit itself, or perhaps what about just the logistics of being in a truck or some other type of railroad car, whatever it may be.
That's a good question. Sadly, when we call it the Faraday cage, when we cannot have a single signal from the cell tower, we cannot send the information. But the good thing in the device, we can store the information for near 2 months of information. So as soon as we get the information, we can send it back to the network, to the cloud, and update the application at the same time.
You absolutely walked right into the next question. So if that wireless connectivity is lost, are any sorts of alarms or other info or notifications saved and then communicated when the connection is restored?
Yep, depend of the configuration. So the basic configuration, we try to use 1 communication per day. The main point of it is to save the battery lovage, but it can be built based on event, on minutes, on time. And we can configure an alarm when we're losing the signal. So we can, globally, we can configure on the platform. We didn't receive any communication from the device from how many time, how many hours, how many days. So we have that type of option.
A couple of good questions about applications in the medical and healthcare environment. Obviously, you can see applications for tracking temperature and humidity in, let's say, operating rooms or patient rooms, that sort of thing. One of our partners was asking about essentially tracking patients themselves. Is it possible to use this in tracking, for example, physician rounds with the patients to determine when and if patients have been visited, examined, and so forth? What are some of the healthcare applications for which this could be used?
That's a good thing, because we have customer in Australia using that solution for something similar as that. They want to know when the nurse is going at the customer, exactly when, to measure the time they're doing the visit. So how many times they are on the side, when they're moving in, when they're moving out. So you can, technically, this could be a personal tracker. So we call it a purse. That could be a personal tracker. It's not been built to be a personal tracker, but since we're measuring GPS location and that type of stuff, yes, that could be another use case.
So many ideas just come to mind here. So let's talk a little bit about how it's billed and then commissioned to partners. Some of the questions that have come in are, is there a term contract required? Are there a minimum number of devices to purchase? How is pricing determined in this type of a transaction?
Normally, we have a contract of 36 months based on this solution. And the minimum of device, I will let the sales team working on it. I believe we're talking about 15.
Very good. Are there particular markets that you're seeing that are particularly hot for sales right now? Whether that's healthcare or finance or shipping, or where do you see some of the greatest success if partners are interested in this and want to try to get into those types of markets?
We're seeing a lot of traction based on shipping and healthcare, agriculture, and even manufacturing. So right now they want to manage exactly where they are, their lot and their equipment.
Good. Tim Shaw, one of our partners, asks a great question. We've talked about the battery life. We've talked about solar. Can a device be permanently wired into, let's say, a vehicle or somewhere else so that the battery life isn't an issue? You've got another or a permanent source of power.
Technically, you can do it, but if we're doing that, we're going to create an issue with the IP67 grade mechanical module, and we don't want water or sand going in. But technically, it's yes, we can do it, but it's going to create a problem with the box.
Understand. Great point. How's Convergia positioned in the market itself? What do you see as Convergia's advantages in this marketplace, and why should partners consider them above other alternatives?
That's an excellent question again. Since we are the MVNA, we're managing the connectivity, we're building the application over the cloud on their platform, and we're using our partner for the hardware solution. So what we bring on the market, I don't believe we have any competition related with. Since we're building blocks for solution on a solid foundation of communication on the network. This is where Convergia is bringing up the difference. With the team, it's working on not only on the network side, but on the application and cloud side in the same time.
I was intrigued by the reporting that you showed, and my mind immediately begins to go to all of the different ways that could be used. You're graphing different results and comparing results between some of the measured characteristics and so forth. Is that something that's included with the service, a certain amount of reporting or analytics?
Yep. The analytics and the reports, even the dashboard and all the information you saw, it's included inside. So it's not an ad feature. It's not a premium feature. It's all included. You have all the reports, the analytics, the alarms, the threshold, and the geofencing and location. So all it's included.
That's great. Just getting a question coming in now about location accuracy. It says, could you actually tell when a nurse goes from one patient room to the next and know which room the nurse is in? So this gets back to the GPS aspect of all of this. How accurate and how down to a particular point can you measure these data?
Yeah, the accuracy of our GPS, it's something like 10 feet precision, if I remember correctly.
Wow, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. And then your support. We talked a little bit about this, but Convergia has tremendous support, and you called it people for people support, where you're dealing with humans for support, and many languages are covered. Why does that become so important then in considering a solution provider?
That's another good one. Since for me, as a customer, nothing I hate more. It's when I ask to have support, I have a bot or someone is moving around to our VR to our VR. I want to have a real person explain my case. She or he understand me and direct me on the right direction. This is something important for Convergia. We want to be there when we have issue or question. It's going to be take care of this for our family or friends. This is where we bring a huge differentiator.
Zachary Schechter is asking about some of the basic pricing. Is there an idea that you can give us about how pricing is determined and maybe what some of the base sort of rates run either per device or per application?
Yeah, normally the base pricing is going to be less than $25 per month. on a 36-month contract.
Very reasonable. It's just amazing the amount of information and the type of information that can be gathered. You mentioned earlier, I was jotting down notes, lumens, G-force, geofencing. I liked the example, when does the tractor leave the parking lot? Humidity, talking about transporting wheat or something, for example. Impact. I'm just trying to consider the marketing value of this as well, as any provider of a product can use this information to market themselves and say, we have ensured that this particular product has been transported in this manner, or that it was never below a certain humidity level or temperature level. The marketing implications here for customers seem to be tremendous.
Yep. Right now, what that solution needs is just to have people who really understand the need of the customer. And this is a tool who can answer technically 90% of them. So it could be temperature, location, G-force acceleration. As you say, this is a new market and you can play with it.
Oh boy, the applications are just tremendous. One other quick question on the pricing. Morty's trying to clarify the $25 a month you mentioned. Is that per sensor?
I'm going to just confirm this. The $25, it's for the complete solution with all the sensors and the gateway and the cloud access with the SIM card connectivity. It's all included.
Okay. And does that vary at all by the number of sensors? I'm thinking if you've got 10 on one order versus 100 on a different order, how does that change pricing?
We're going to just change the wording of because sensors mean we have at least 5 or 6 sensors on the module. So per module, yes, the price can change. So if you have 1,000 module, the price going to change. 100 module, the price going to change.
Okay, so that's going to have to be negotiated there. That's great. This is just phenomenal. My mind is wandering all over the place in terms of applications here. There would be so many questions, as you've seen. I haven't had this many questions on a Tuesday call in months, but fortunately you have, you mentioned in the presentation, more than 30 certified engineers that are available to talk about applications and the different ways in which this can be used. That's a tremendous value.
We have a solid team in the back end, but we have even a better team in the front end with our sales team. Right now, we have a lot of people in US and Canada can support on a pre-sale side, but even in a post-sale side for implementation or any type of trouble. So we have a huge 30 engineers. We can work with you and your customer to understand exactly what's the need, to be sure we can tackle the use case and build the small details about the customization of the alerts and all that stuff for them.
Well, you've certainly whetted everyone's appetite today, Eric. If partners have clients that they would like to bring to Convergia, do they want to get in touch with you? Who do they want to speak with at Convergia to initiate this process?
Right now, we have many salespeople in the US. So I believe we have Ariel Garcia, who's working with us. And we have Matthew for Canada is working for to support everyone related with that.
So in your Telarus Partner Back Office, partners, we have listed all of the individuals whom you could contact. If you need any recommendations at all, contact your Telarus Partner Support Manager or any of us here. We'll put you in touch with the appropriate sales manager or with Eric himself if necessary. Eric, I can't thank you enough for being on the call. This has just been absolutely fascinating. Last word to you. What would you encourage our partners to do for a next step?
Thanks a lot for your time, guys. I'm pretty sure we can have huge customer related with that solution. That's going to change the way they're doing business and creating value. So don't forget, this is going to be a huge ROI for them and for you in the same time.
Boy, couldn't agree more. Just fascinating. Eric, thank you so much for the presentation today. I look forward to having you back on the call again soon. I'd love to hear some of the results that we're seeing from partners and some of the success stories. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
I bet. Our thanks to Eric Lejuk from Convergia for today's outstanding presentation and discussion. It's fascinating. And thanks to each of you, our partners and suppliers, for your attendance and participation today. If you have suggestions for our weekly call or a theme song for me, please email them to marketing@telarus.com. Talk with you again next Tuesday. Until then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Be safe and be kind and have a great selling week, everyone.